Welcome back to In Ohio Country today. And joining our show once again is Terry Mescher. Terry's with the H2Ohio program here in the Buckeye State. Terry, nice to catch up with you again.
Good to see you again today, Dan. How are you?
Doing great. I think the last time we saw you was at the No-Till Council meeting at Der Dutchman. Is the food any better at this event?
It's close. It's close.
Well, a lot of things happening as far as H2Ohio is concerned, expansion in counties. So why don't you give our viewers an update of what's going on?
Yeah, we back in February, the first part of February, just finished up a new enrollment for the 14 original Maumee project counties where we started back in 2020. So finished up the enrollment there, had a very successful enrollment, almost 1.3 million acres enrolled in the program. It's about a 30% increase over where we had been. So puts us a long way towards our goal for having a 2 million acre footprint for the program across the Western Lake Erie Basin. So pretty excited about that.
You know, Terry, when we first saw you, when the program was just in the formative stages of getting formulated and getting ready to start, you were doing a lot of traveling. Are you still out there visiting farmers and visiting the people that are involved in not only the Western Lake Erie watershed, but all the other counties that are involved in this project now?
Well, I tell you, as the program's matured, in all honesty, we've grown our staff as well, and we've got a lot of staff that are trying to make those direct connections. I certainly still have some contact, but not nearly like I did. Most of what I am doing now is trying to direct our staff and look down the road a little bit further on maintaining the program and look into the future where we got to go next. So that's probably taken up the majority of my time right now. Certainly a lot of travel still, though.
Where are you going next? What do you think is going to be the future for this program?
Well, later this year, we're hoping to expand statewide. We've got funding to fund about 500,000 acres of voluntary nutrient management plans across the 64 counties in the state that don't have access to H2Ohio right now. We'll be rolling that program out, starting to take enrollment probably mid-April and into May. Really what we want to do with that is we don't have a big load reduction or nutrient reduction goal associated with that. We really want to use this effort to develop some of the nutrient management planning skills and program management skills at the Soil and Water District to try to set the foundation for a larger rollout in 2026 and 2027.
What about the assistance of the legislature? You know, what kind of communication have you had with Columbus in making sure this program continues?
That's a little bit above my pay grade. We'll leave that up to the director, but certainly to date and the path looking forward, looks like we've got an awful lot of support coming from the legislature. I've heard whispers about the potential for a bond issue that's being discussed at some higher levels. I don't know a whole lot of details about it, but I know that's certainly something that's out there being discussed. We'll see where it goes.
Well, let's get an update as far as results are concerned. What are the bottom line results that we're seeing, especially in the Maumee watershed?
Well, it takes a long time for the water quality results to show themselves up in monitoring data. So I think we're taking things the right direction for sure. But one of the things that we've been doing is trying to develop some modeling to estimate what those results will be for the short term and the long term, which we're at the bottom end or the forefront of that, so it looks pretty good. But one of the things that we've done in the last 3 years, Dan, is really look back, look at the phosphorus fertilizer purchased in Northwest Ohio and some of those sort of things. And really what we've seen over the last 15 years or so, going back to probably about 2005, we've seen a continuous and a sustained drop in fertilizer purchased up in Northwest Ohio. At the same time, we've seen some fairly significant increases in average yield every year. So the end result of that is, the end result of that is at the end of the day, the last 5 years, we've been removing more phosphorus through our crops than what we've been applying to cropland acres in the watershed. So while we don't have the water quality results at this point in time, certainly there are other indicators that show us that we're on the right path.
Now, of course, a program like this, from a funding standpoint, trickles down, if you will, excuse the pun, to the producers as far as the landowners are concerned. What kind of response are you getting back from the participants in this program, especially at an event like this, the Conservation Intelligent Technology Conference? Obviously, you might be preaching to the choir here, but what kind of response are you getting back from producers?
Overall, we've gotten a very positive response, shown in the, as evidenced by the sign-up that we just completed. I think a lot of the things that we're doing that the producers really like is we're letting them farm their fields and be flexible. The program can flex around what they want to do. That's certainly one of the things. The funding that we've had allows us to approve contracts at the spot. So one of the things that we've heard back from a lot of producers is you apply to a program, then you wait and don't know if you're in. We've been able to really take in applications and fund those applications relatively quickly. And the other thing is minimizing some of the paperwork. We're trying to build in some software, some program management, really to minimize the amount of paperwork that a producer has to do to document their practices. So those are some of the things we've heard. I think we're on the right path, and certainly we're certainly open to more of those concerns and more of those suggestions from the producers. We try to fold them in where we can.
Is there anything other than the paperwork maybe that the producers don't like? What are some of the dislikes that you're getting from producers?
I would say we have gotten some concerns back on some of the program structure, the practices themselves. Some of the cover crop seeding dates have received some concerns. Those sort of things we got to balance. So, with the cover crop, we've got to make sure that we're getting the nutrient reductions and the erosion protection going into winter that we want. Some of those things we got to keep in mind that we are trying to accomplish a water quality goal and a nutrient reduction at the end of the day. So we're trying to balance that the best we can.
And I think the cool thing is that you guys have an open door, great communications. People can reach you, and if they want more information, they have a concern, they have more questions, where do they go?
First line of defense, as far as that goes, is to the local soil and water conservation district. Their local soil and water conservation district can point them towards our ODA staff. The other place to go if they need more detailed or broader program information is H2Ohio, h2.ohio.gov.
Let's before we let you go, let's talk a little bit about those soil and water conservation districts and working with them. It just seems like everybody's on the same page here. So keeping that moving forward and keeping them enthusiastic and keeping them in the loop communication-wise is utterly important, right?
Well, I tell you, the unsung heroes in this whole program has been the soil and water conservation districts. They deliver the vast majority of our face time to producers. They do a incredible job of maintaining those relationships and documenting what's happening. So the soil and water districts have been the critical portion of the overall program delivery. And it's the 14 soil and water districts in the MALME, the 10 additional in the WLEB have done an incredible job of being flexible with ODA as we develop the program, as we identify some shortcomings of the program and fix them, as well as reinforcing some of the program goals to the producers that are participating in the program. So the soil and water districts that have been involved to date have been great. We want to maintain that relationship and maintain those conversations all the way through. Because at the end of the day, if we're going to change the water quality in Lake Erie and across the state, it's going to take a partnership from everybody.
Yeah, no question about it. I got to tell you, first and foremost, on our TV show, our podcast, our radio program, no matter where we're at in the Buckeye State, the H2Ohio program has certainly taken a very proactive approach, and the response has been probably 99.9% positive. So you guys are doing something right.
Right. And again, we're glad to try to meet people where they need to be, but there are larger goals. The water quality impact is why we've got the money. So those are the sort of things we have to deliver on at the end of the day.
Terry Mescher has been our guest from the H2Ohio program here in the Buckeye State. Terry, thanks again.
Thank you very much. Have a great day.
And we'll be back with more in Ohio Country Today right after this.